I'd like to talk a little bit about the space between receiving intuitive guidance and acting on it. Because what you do or what you don't do within that space can make all the difference. And it can be the difference between taking action and starting to shift the energy around whatever situation it is that you're wanting to shift, and feeling stuck. I'm going to also tell you what you can do if you're in that space where you're feeling a little bit stuck and you got kind of stuck in between receiving intuitive guidance and moving forward. My name is Jessica Cisco, and I am a medium and healer. One of my favorite ways to move energy that feels stuck or like things aren't moving forward is through Reiki, and I love combining that with intuitive guidance to help not only to rebalance energy, but to give you some insight into what's going on with you currently so that you can make that shift and start to move forward and start to heal. The link to my intuitive Reiki session will be in the description. When you receive intuitive guidance, something might happen where your soul gives you one message, like, oh, I really want to start a business, or I really want to take that next step and work on myself, and I have the next step to do that now. And then your mind comes in and maybe you start having thoughts like on a loop, a constant loop, like, oh, that next step I just received, it's not going to work. That intuitive guidance, it seems like it would be too hard to do that thing, or, oh, I just don't know if I'm good enough. Whatever that is, sometimes it could end up looping and looping in your mind, and as a result, you just have this stuck feeling, and it just doesn't feel very good at all. You might feel anxious. It might bring up all kinds of feelings within you, and that's okay. But it can also keep you from being productive and taking that next step that you feel guided to take. It can really keep you from trusting yourself and trusting your intuition. One of the ways I found to help me do that is to first of all just stop and notice that loop, that mental loop, that mind chatter that just keeps going and going and going. And just say, that's what's going on. And that will do two things for you. One, it kind of starts to disrupt that pattern, that constant looping. And over time, when you disrupt that, it will actually teach your brain, oh, we're not going there anymore. And you'll create new patterns in your brain and you'll start to feel better. But the second thing it does is it kind of takes the judgment away, because it places you in the role of the observer, where you're kind of like, oh, that's what's happening. That's what's going on. Huh, that's interesting. And maybe you start to become a little curious about it. And maybe you want to start to process those feelings either with a professional if you feel that that's needed, or by yourself as well. I believe that can, in less severe cases, be very effective. And then, of course, once you've noticed it, acknowledged it, started to process it, you don't want to stay in that state. You want to start to find your way out of it and be patient with yourself during this process, because you can easily become frustrated with it, and then you start a new looping situation of, I'm frustrated. Why isn't this working? It's not happening fast enough. So what I want you to do, the first thing is just get up if you can and move your body, or stay where you are and move your body. Because what that kind of does is it starts to let your mind know, hey, we're shifting from one thing to the other. And there is a lot of evidence to back up the effectiveness of this. And then there are different ways of moving out of it completely. One of them being affirmations. And not just affirmations, but saying them with conviction. Really bring up the feeling of that affirmation within yourself. Or you can listen to music, you can go for a walk, different ways to shift yourself out of it. And there are also different ways of healing that through either energy work or mindset work, even therapy if that's something that you feel that you need, or just talking to someone who is really supportive. If you have a pet, that's helpful too. Meditation can also be beneficial. Although with that, the first thing that might happen when you try to quiet your mind is every conversation you had starts to replay that was bothering you. Every feeling might start to come up. But that's a completely different subject I hope that this helped you in some way. I know I went in a few different directions. I do have my intuitive Reiki session to support you through your own healing process. The link to that will be in the description, and I'm sending you so much love and many blessings.